All right, Pilates and TRX today. If you would have your straps set up to where when they're hanging, the handles are mid-thigh-ish, right? You might have to have these like unattractive doggy ears hanging down, okay? So when we start here, we're gonna bring our feet just in front of our body. So you see how I'm leaning back just a little bit? The elbows are just in front of the ribs, and I'm standing in a little Pilates V, very tiny. So let's just start by standing tall, taking a couple deep breaths, feeling your pinkies and your ring fingers wrap around the handles, your collarbones open, those inner ankle bones hug together. And then from here, keeping your pubic bone forward, I just want you to lift the heels up and then lower the heels down. So as we lower and lift here, just find yourself centered. Feel that there's equal weight into the balls of your feet. And there's this strong inner thigh connection, just going from your heel all the way up your center. Feel like those elbows are kind of pinning down and back behind you, even though they're kind of in front. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Now keep the heels lifted, bend into the knees. You're just gonna squat down and then just pull yourself back up. Bend into the knees, keep the hug of the inner ankle bones, and then stand it back up. So each time you come up, it's an opportunity to get taller and to open up that chest a little bit more. Now, this cue is a reminder for me, are those pinkies still at the party? I already started to go and just my index finger and middle finger. That pinky line connection is so important. And each time you stand up, it should feel like your backside is narrowing and the front of your hips are opening. We have 2. And 1, stand up tall, separate your heels, lower the heels down, and just walk the feet out a little bit. So now they're more shoulder width distance apart, but you're still in parallel. You're still in this tiny lean back. That's your start and stop position. You're gonna squat down and then stand it back up. You squat down and then back up. So just like we do on the reformer, think of like all the muscles in your legs working. So it can be so easy to go into just the top of the thighs here. But think as you lower down, there's almost this pull of your heels to your seat and then a resist to come back up. Pull the heels to the seat and then back up. And I know occasionally you're gonna be looking at the camera, kind of like how I'm doing. But when you're not, your gaze is kind of up at your anchor points, your chest is staying open, you're staying long. We've got 2 and 1. Now come down into your squat where you feel the most confident. Check all of your boxes. Pinky, shoulders, neck, spine, feet, strong tripod connection down through the feet. Now, from here, just lift your heel up and then lower it down. Lift the other heel up and down. So everything else stays stable. We're just going for a heel, lower, and lift. Now, even though the legs are separated, think of there being magnetic energy between those ankles. We've got 3. Nice controlled articulation. Last one here. Go ahead and pancake the feet. Stand it all the way up. Let's go back down again. Go back down again. Can you get those thighs parallel to the floor here? Feel the shoulder blades glide away from the ears. Now can you do both heels up, both heels down, both heels up, both heels down, both heels up and down. Now lift the heels up. Let your arms go straight. Round your spine. And then flatten your back out. Lower the heels, stand it all the way up. We're gonna do that 2 more times. You squat down, you lift the heels, let the arms go straight, round into your spine, roll the hips under, Let the shoulders shrug up into the ears, and then flatten the back out. Bend the elbows, pancake the feet, stand it all the way up. Let's do that one more time. I'm feeling those thighs. Heels lift, arms go straight, you round. Turn the palms facing down on this last one. And then pull yourself back up, heels down, stand it all the way up. Arms go straight, press down into those hands, nod your chin, roll yourself out. Pass through that long line, allow the knees to bend where it feels natural. Reach your heart forward and just find a little extension here. And then roll yourself under. Keep that arm to TRX connection as you come all the way up. Let's do that one more time. Press down into the arms. Resist as you come all the way out. Find a stretch as you come all the way up. Alrighty, so just standing here, let's take the back of your hand and place it into the straps. Okay, so my thumbs are kind of hooking around so they don't slide around too much. So it doesn't matter where you're standing with your feet for this, just standing tall. With straight arms, can you circle the arms up to the ceiling? So when you're here, the ribs are not popping, the straps are not loose, they stay taut. So position yourself where you can get into this plumb line and then lower the arms back down. They circle around and up, press back into those straps, and then arms come back down. So let's just do a few here, seeing where something might be stuck or stubborn. It might be the same thing. And we're trying to hold this long, neutral spine as the arms circle around and up. So imagine that head was up against the same wall that your body's up against. We have 2 and 1. Okie dokie. So now we're gonna add a deep plie to this, or a sumo squat. So take the feet wide and they're in an equal turnout. All right, so from here, tailbone stays heavy, energy into the arms. You squat down and then stand it back up. We're just gonna do a couple of these just to see where the hips are at today. And really think of the front of your ribs softening into your back. Last one here, and then come all the way up. Now we're gonna add that arm circle to this. So as you squat down, arms reach up overhead, and then come back down. They reach up overhead, and then come back down. So please feel free to reposition yourself, right, either forward or back. Away from the anchor point's going to be easier. And if it starts to get too much into the neck, just take your arms out more to Y, right? More to Y as opposed to right overhead. Tripod connection down through those feet. Hang in there. We've got 2. And last one, hold here. Just find that plumb line. Engage those arms a little bit more. Lift your right heel up and then lower it down. Lift your left heel up and then lower it down. Right heel and left heel. Right heel, check in with your neck. Left heel, can you do both heels for 3? If not, you alternate. And 2. And 1, pancake the feet, arms come down. Just give yourself a quick forward fold and then come all the way back up. All right, so for this next one, we're only gonna do 3 on each side and we're just gonna add a little twist to it. So let's press the hands into the straps, come down into your plie or your sumo squat. And then as you sweep the right arm up, your left arm is gonna go forward a little bit. So just find this little spiraling action and then come back to center. Left arm is gonna come up and back, press in, and then come back to center. 2 more times each side. And then back to center. So the equal press into the straps is gonna help deepen the twist, right? I know it's tough. And back to center, last one here. You grow longer as you spiral higher, and then back to center, go and stand all the way up and go for another forward fold. When you're here, allow yourself to just kind of sway from side to side, bend into the knees. Okay, find center, and then just roll yourself all the way up. All right, so now handle in each hand, wrap those pinkies around, zip the legs up together, and walk your feet forward. So now you're at a bigger lean than where we were for footwork or for our squats. Holding this long line, let the arms go straight, and then pull yourself up. Arms go straight, and then row yourself up. I think of this bent elbow row as your chest expansion. So as the elbows come down and back, your collarbones open, and then back out. You have 2. And 1, let the arms go straight. Find protraction so the shoulder blades pull apart. And now retract the shoulder blades, they hug your spine. Try your best to keep the arms straight. They want to bend, they want to do all kinds of things. So it's a tiny movement. And I can even tell my ribs were popping a little bit there. Legs are zipped up. How about those pinkies? Are they still at the party? We have 3 and 2 and 1. Now find where they feel kind of centered. Turn the palms at kind of like a 45-degree angle down towards the floor, and then mid-row. So they're neither super high or super low. They're just in between. They're just right. You guys know if you want to make this harder, feet go towards the wall or towards your anchor point. And opposite is true. All right? Feel like those armpits are constantly drawing down your sides. We've got 4. How you doing? And 3. Strong legs, strong pinkies. And 2. And 1, just pull yourself all the way up and just kind of shrug the shoulders out. Okay, let's just do a quick rotation here. So I'm gonna drop my left handle. I'm gonna grab on with my right handle and then pull it tight. So it's not going anywhere. So I'm gonna start with my left foot forward, right leg back. And if you're on a different side, it's just your inside leg forward, outside leg back. My right hand is in front of my left chest muscle here. Left arm is up and over the straps. I'm holding on for dear life. I'm rooting down through my feet. From here, I'm gonna let myself fall out to the side. My right arm, I'm trying to get it straight as my left arm reaches back, 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 and then pull yourself up. 2 more. Let yourself glide out, control, 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 and then pull yourself back up. We have 1 more. Hug those inner thighs together, and then pull yourself up. 3 on the other side. So this time my right foot is forward, left leg is back. All right, from here, let yourself fall out with control. Can you get that left arm straight? And then pull yourself up again. Look back at that right hand and then pull yourself up. Last one here, you spiral higher, taller. Alrighty. Now, let's come back to these rows, okay? And then let's go feet, maybe shoulder width distance apart. We'll do that. So you're walking into that lean. Elbows are kind of pinned at your sides here. Body is long, arms go straight, and then pull yourself up. Find that pinky line, connecting and wrapping around those handles. Your pubic bone is going forward. We got 3 and 2 and 1. Now keep the arms straight. You squat down and then stand it back up. Squat down and then back up. Keep that tripod connection down into your feet. And I find for most people, talking about myself mainly, that the forearm grip here goes out before anything else. I feel like I could do squats here for a long time, but my fingers feel like they're starting to slip. My forearms are starting to talk to me. We've got 3 and 2, and 1. Pull yourself all the way up. All right. So now let's zip the legs up together. Elbows are bent with your elbows just in front of the ribs. Once again, find that long line. All right. So keeping the straps taut, bring your right leg up into this tabletop position and just find balance. Think of this as like a single leg stretch, and then place the foot down. Left knee comes up. So as the left knee pulls up and in, that left hip is drawing down to your right inner thigh, and then place the foot down. Other side, right knee comes up. Now from here, you stay standing on that left leg. You're gonna hinge forward. Right leg goes back, and then come all the way up. So use these next couple to just feel how you feel today. Every day is different, every side is different. Okay, last one. Now come all the way up, and now pause here. I want you to flex your right foot, okay? I want you to bend into the left knee a little bit, and then straighten it. Bend into the knee, and straighten it. Now bend into the knee stays bent. You hinge forward. Kick that right heel back behind you. Pause here. Can you drop that right hip down a little bit? You still have energy into those arms. And then keep the knee at that bend as you hinge back up. And then you straighten the standing leg. You bend into that knee. You hinge forward. Kick that right heel back behind you. And then come all the way up. Straighten the standing leg. Now, as you're doing this, I'm not too picky about that back leg going straight or bent. I care more about the heel and this knee, your standing knee. Because that's really where I want this work, is to be in that left hip, and it is starting to talk to me. You're welcome for the singing. Oh, okay. On this next one, we're gonna stay back there and play a little bit. So hinge yourself forward, okay? Straighten that back leg, point out through the toes, drop that right hip down. You lower that leg down and then lift it up. Tap the toes down and then lift it up. Make sure that right hip is not lifting as the leg lifts up. So think of this move coming from your right corner of your seats for 3 and 2 and 1. Bend into that knee, come all the way up. Shake it out. We have a whole nother leg to do. Okay, so be kind to yourself. Every side is different. Bring that left knee up. Find balance, find square. And let's just hinge forward. Remember, we got a couple here. Just feeling things out. And then each time you come out, really play around with that left hip, drop it down, lift it up, and just see where your challenge point is. Because unless you've got a mirror beside you, you may think you're square, but you might be a little off. All right, so hinge forward. Find that soft bend in that right knee. Your back heel is flexed, and then come all the way up, straighten the standing leg. We bend into that knee, drive that left heel back, square off into those hips, and then come all the way up, straighten the standing leg. Make sure those arms are at the party. I feel like the wider they are, the more stable you feel. Pick what works for you. And each time you come up is an opportunity to just reset your spine, to find that length. How are you feeling? Make sure those ribs are staying in and lifted away from the floor. On this next one, we're gonna hold it out there, okay? Point out through the back toes, drop that left hip down, straight leg lowers and lifts. I feel like your heart is reaching forward. The pinky line side of that hand, those hands are pressing down into the handles. We got 3 and 2 and 1. Bend into that knee, come all the way up. Ooh. All right, take an ankle over the knee, hold on for dear life. Squat down. Stay on this same side as you stand it back up. Same side, you squat down and then back up. All right, other side. We squat down and back up. Try to get deeper into that hip stretch on this second last one here, and then come all the way up. All right, so let's keep the straps short, and we're gonna turn on and face away from our anchor point. So let's start with the legs zipped up together. With your arms straight out, the hands are gonna be in front of your shoulders. And then just find a strong punch out through the fists here. And then step your right foot out in front of you. Bend into that back knee and drive your chest forward just to feel some type of chest or shoulder opening. And then let yourself kind of lean back a little bit and press yourself back up. Lunge out, bend into that back knee, tailbone stays long, chest goes forward, lean yourself back, and then back up. Okay, so if you need more of a chest stretch, start further away from the wall. Feel that tailbone lengthen, and then back down. Okay, now everybody meet me on your right foot forward. Right foot goes forward. You're gonna go into that lunge. Now open the arms out to the side and feel your heart lift. Feel that chest stretch. And then circle the arms back up, find your long line, and then press yourself back up. Okay, so we're finding a stretch here, but the legs are working hard to stabilize, right? Open the arms out to the sides, lift the heart, then find center, arms come up, and then back up. We're gonna do one more stretch here. So step your right foot out, come into that lunge, open the arms out wide, take them back behind you. Now straighten both legs. Dive the head forward. Go up and over. Feel your stomach try and lift off of that thigh. Now just bend into the knees as the arms circle around. Stack your spine up tall, and then press yourself back up. Let's do that again. Lunge down, arms open, legs straighten. Dive the head forward. Feel the left hip draw back, right hip go forward. Bend into the knees, arms come back up, stack everything up, and then come back to center. Alrighty, one more time each side, but we're gonna do a twist here. So lunge forward, arms, they side bend up and over to the right. Keep going around, keep going around. Reach those arms back behind you, and then come back to center, press yourself back up. Left foot, you come out, side bend up and over. So we're just doing some lunges with some stretches, and then come back to center, press yourself back up. All right, now we lengthen the straps out. So when they're lengthened, your handles, if you're on a door mount, the handles will be about mid-shin. If you're on a ceiling mount or they're out from the wall, the handles will be in line with your knees. All right, so still facing away from the anchor point. Let's find more of a push-up position so hands are more in line with your shoulders. Let's go heels together, toes apart. So find that strong punch out through your fists like your sternum is going back. Yep, and then from here, just lift the heels up and then lower the heels down. Now, if your knees, your thighs, they just get in the way here, have a soft bend into the knees. Give yourself some space. But if you have the bend in your knees, keep the bend, right? So we're not here moving all around. This is a flex at the ankle joint or a flex and a point. Okay, now lift the heels up high. Arms stay straight, spine stays long. Reach the arms away. This is your long stretch, and then pull the arms back in. Do one more like that. Arms reach away, ribs pull back, and then pull the arms back in. Now, imagine you're holding onto a bar. I want you to think of pulling apart on that bar and maybe turning those elbow creases up to the ceiling. Now glide the arms away and then pull them back in. Heels just stay lifted, inner thighs stay at the party, and then back in. Keep working that opening across your chest. We have 2, inhale away, and then exhale, pull yourself in. Last one, inhale away, and exhale, pull in, pause here. Palms, point them down a little bit, still work that pull apart, bend the elbows wide, and then press yourself back up. Bend the elbows wide, chest puffs up, and then back out. Now, as you're doing your push-up or your chest press, make sure those straps aren't rubbing against your arms. Inhale on the out, exhale on the press up. Good, 2 more times here. As you punch forward, sternum goes back, right? That's your teaser work. Last one here, wring out those lungs, wring out those lungs. Now pull those heels apart, step your right foot forward, just lunge forward, drive the chest forward, and then press yourself back up. Left foot goes forward, drive the chest forward, and then back up. Next one, hold here, open the arms out to the side. Just find a chest opening. Arms come back up, press yourself back up. Last one. Open the arms out to the side, puff up that chest. Arms come back up, press yourself up. All right, I think it's time to go down to the mat. All right, so keeping the straps at the length that we had them at for our chest press, you're gonna lie on your back, head towards your wall. And if you're on the door anchor, you're gonna be pretty close, like without jamming your head. Make sure that when you're lying down, your head or your body's in line with your straps. And if you do have a ceiling mount, when you're lying down and the straps are dangling, they should just be just over your face, okay? So let's weight the arms down into the mat, so your feet are into the straps here. And just once again, find your long line, feel your tailbone anchor, find those chest expansion arms into the mat, and then hug the legs together as much as you can. I know the handles get into the way. And now take a big expansive breath in. And then on your exhale, start to roll the hips under, lift the hips up, and just find your straight-legged bridge, just like we do on the push-through bar. And now allow the sternum to soften, draw the ribs to the pelvis, and then melt as you come all the way down. Do that a couple more times here. Feel like your hips are reaching away from the crown of your head. You can even kind of take your hands on your hips and do that. Feel like you're just tractioning your spine in 2 different directions. And then melt all the way down. Okie dokie. Take your straps into your left arch. Straps into your left arch here. Okay. So let's go ahead and straighten the legs out. So your right leg is onto the mat, left foot is in, or left leg is straight into the straps. All right, from here, just find level hips, level ribs, level shoulders into the mat. And now keep all these level things and just float your right leg up to meet your left leg. Squeeze the legs together and just lower the leg down. Lift the leg up, squeeze the legs together, and then lower back down. All right, lift the leg up, squeeze the legs together. You now have one solid leg. From here, keep the tailbone heavy. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. All right, if you can, of course, start pumping your arms here for your 100. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's try to steady those legs. Think of those fingertips reaching forward and your belly pulling back. We're only gonna do half here. So last one here. Inhale and exhale, 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 exhale. Lower everything down. Bend both knees. Right foot goes into the floor, left foot stays into the straps. Now keeping a flat back here, keeping the energy into the arms, just lift the hips up and just hold here. Can you get equal weight into both feet? and then lower the hips down. It's kind of hard to find that because one feels unstable, one is into the floor. Lift the hips up and then just lower back down. Now lift the hips up, pause. Sternum stays soft, front of the throat is open. And now just straighten your left leg out and then pull it in. So think of this left leg as just doing like a single leg press out on the reformer. So when you pull that foot in, it pulls in, like you're trying to close the carriage, and then press the leg out. Even though the legs are split, there's still an inner thigh connection. We got 2. And last one, pull that heel all the way into your seat, all the way in, and then melt as you go all the way down. Okay, so we're gonna just up the ante here. We're just gonna progress from here. How about that? So arms are anchored, both knees are bent. Go ahead and lift the hips up. All right, hips are level, pubic bone is higher than your 2 hip points. Now just lift your right heel up and then lower it down. Lift the right heel up and then lower it down. Lift the right heel up and down. Lift the right heel up. Now, can you get more weight into that left leg? Can you get all the weight into that left leg? And then maybe float the right leg up into tabletop and then lower it down. It lifts up and down. Now, if you're like, girl, no, I did not sign up for this today. You just go back to your heel lower and lifts, working on that weight shift into your left foot. Or left leg. Hang in there, pull that left heel to your seat no matter where you're at. You have 2 and 1. Can you keep that leg lifted or heel lifted and then just melt all the way down? Awesome, straighten both legs out. Right leg stays down, reach the arms up to the ceiling. Take a big breath in and then on your exhale, lift the weight of your head up, grab onto that left leg. I want you to climb up, all the way up, and just find a stretch at the top. Reach your left hip down the mat, like reach it away from your left rib, and then let go of that leg. Stack your spine up tall. Find this compacted teaser and then just roll yourself all the way down. Round down, round down, round down. All right, let's do that again. If you can, try not to grab onto your leg, okay? So when you're ready, go ahead and roll yourself all the way up, up, up. Now take your right hand into the mat or into the floor. Left hand, just push the leg off to the side. Now when you're here, allow your upper body to twist and look to the opposite direction. Puff up that chest. And now the leg is gonna sweep around, cross the midline of your body. You gotta switch hands. Puff up that chest. Big twist. And then back to center. Okay, now arms reach out in front of you if you can. Roll yourself back just a little bit further. Now you're gonna float that right leg up and then lower it down. Legs are parallel. You float the leg up and down. Lift the leg up, pause. That foot, try to get it at eye height. Leg stays stable. You roll all the way down, 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 all the way down. All right, we've got another leg to do. Switch sides. Let's see if I can remember all of that. Okie dokie. We got 100 to do first, or 50. So straighten the legs out, anchor down through the arms, find some energy down into that right leg, float the left leg up, squeeze the legs together, and then just lower the leg down. Lift the leg up, squeeze the legs together, and then back down. All right, we lift the leg up. We hug those legs together. If you can, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Start pumping here. Inhale and exhale. Strong arms. They are razor straight, just like your legs. Inhale and exhale. Try to steady those legs. Everything else, mine are wobbling all over the place. Last inhale And exhale, exhale, exhale. Ring out the lungs, ring out the lungs, ring out the lungs, and go all the way down. All right, we bend both knees. Arms into the mat. Chest is rolling open. Equal weight into your feet. Just lift the hips up and pause. Just find balance, find center, and then lower everything down. Okay, lift the hips up. Take a moment, assess, and then back down. All right, now we lift the hips up. Feel like your tailbone is reaching to your knee, which is reaching past your toes. Straighten the right leg out, and then pull it in. Straighten the right leg out, and then pull it in. So this is also kind of a play of what and then pull it in. Feel like that right big toe is just reaching up and over the strap. We got 2 and 1. Pull that heel in, and then melt as you come all the way down. All right, so now we do that heel lift and that leg hover if that's for you. Okie dokie. Arms, downward energy through them. Go ahead and lift the hips up. We lift that heel, we lower the heel. We lift the heel, we lower the heel. Each time that heel goes down is an opportunity to maybe open up the top of this hip a little bit more. Now, when you're ready, you're gonna try to float that left leg up and then bring it down. I feel like the knee into the chest isn't so bad because the weight shifts back. It's the lowering of the foot down. Hang in there. Keep pulling that right heel to your seat. You got it. Let's do 3 and 2 and 1. Bring that knee into your chest and then melt your spine all the way down. So that single leg lift there is also kind of a play on your bicycles and your hips in the air from the mat, just kind of training your body where it needs to be. So legs are straight, arms reach up to the ceiling. When you're ready, grab onto that leg, climb up that leg. Every side is different. Come all the way up and just find a stretch. Feel that right hip pull to that left inner thigh and then let go. Arms reach out in front of you. Find downward energy through the legs as you roll back. Alrighty, let's do that again. Roll yourself up, up, up. Left hand comes down. Right leg, take it out to the side as you twist, look away. Kind of a play on the Romana stretches from the short box. Woo, try to cross that body with the right leg. Look in the opposite direction. And then come back to center. Arms, they reach back out in front of you. Roll yourself back a little bit. Now, can you float that left leg up? This side's way hard for me. So if you need to, hands can come down to the mat. Got a little bit of twist in my spine that shouldn't be there. We got 3 and 2. Probably did a couple extra here, no worries. Hold that leg up and then roll back, roll back, roll back, roll back, and then come all the way down. All right, so just holding the straps in your hands here, just drop the knees to your right and then drop the knees over to the other side. And then go ahead and straighten both legs out. Let's take the hands to the cradles actually. So your feet are flexed here, legs are zipped up. Take a big expansive breath in. And then on your exhale, go ahead and lift the weight of your head up and then roll yourself up, up, up. And now dive the head forward, round into your spine, circle the arms back behind you. Press into those hands to just deepen the stretch. Okay, now we do some planking. So keeping the straps at that level, you're gonna take the tops of your feet into the cradles. Now remember with planking, you can always do this with your feet into the mat. Having the feet into the straps is ridiculously hard. So give yourself some grace. If you need to take, some into the straps, some knees onto the floor, or even feet onto the floor, do it. So let's start up onto the hands. We're gonna keep the knees bent for this first bit, so don't worry about, kicking the door or anything behind you. So feel your sternum lift into your back. All right, so we're finding a little bit of protraction here. Hard flex of those feet, and now just hover the knees off the mat. And it should feel like you're squeezing your chest muscles together as those shoulder blades pull apart. You got 3 and 2 and 1. Lower down with control. All right, now we're gonna come down to our forearms. Make sure this time you can straighten the legs out. So forearms should look like a number 11. Drive your fists into the mat, super important. So when you're ready, find that protraction, so shoulder blades pull apart, straighten the legs back behind you, hard flex of your feet and pause. Think about getting more weight into your fists than your elbows right now. Just holding strong, tailbone is chasing your heels. We've got 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Lower the knees down. Just take a moment. That was a moment. And if forearms don't agree with you, come back onto your hands, right? There's tons of options for you guys. So I'll cue back onto the forearms here. We're gonna do a little protraction, retraction. So I want you to straighten those legs out. Face over your fists. Let the chest fall down. Pick the chest back up. Retraction, chest falls down. Protraction, chest lifts up. We have 4. Breathe through it. That was 3. And 2. And 1. Bring the knees down. Those are tough, but so good for our shoulders and our core too. So I'm gonna come up onto my hands for some knee tucks, knee stretches, however you wanna call them. So hands are underneath the shoulders. If the wrists at any time bother you, turn your fingers out like if they're going to 11 and 1 o'clock. Finds that strong protraction here. Hover the knees up, send your legs back. Now, take a big breath in, and as you exhale, pull your knees into your elbows so your feet go apart, and then press the legs back out. Exhale, pull the knees in, back out. Pike those hips up. Hang in there, we got 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. Push into those feet, last 1, and lower down. Yeah. Take a moment. So we're only gonna do one side plank on each side. So you're gonna turn over onto your right side. Feet, they go flexed. So right forearm is into the mat, right fist. Again, more weight into that fist than your elbow. Flex those feet. Top foot in front of your bottom foot. Just checking all my boxes. When you're ready, strong leg, strong arm, lift those hips up. Remember, you can take the arm up to the ceiling, to the hip. It's wherever you feel strong but challenged. Just keep fighting gravity. We got 3 and 2 and 1. Lower down with control. Woo, other side. These have been really getting me lately. How about you? All right. So if you're on that door anchor, you want your feet to be as close to the wall, because otherwise it's just constantly going to pull you. Feet, they are flexed. Lift those hips up. Strong inner thigh connection. Weight into that fist. Here, the shoulder blades should feel like they're pulling apart. We got 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Lower down. Take your feet out of the straps. Give yourself a little cat-cow. Alrighty, let's do some swan. So we're gonna turn over onto our stomach. If the shoulder mobility allows, the hands will be into the handles. Otherwise, hands can go into the cradles. So lying on your stomach. So if you have the ceiling mount, wherever your straps are hanging, you're gonna be a straight arm distance away from that. So forehead is into the mat. Legs are just reaching long. Feel your pubic bone press down and your low abdomen lift away from the mat. From here, find elevation. So shrug the shoulders into the ears. And now depression, shoulder blades pull away from the ears. So let's just do that a few times here. So elevation, depression. And even like do some circles. So like just feel like your shoulder blades are just doing circles on your back. And then reverse your circles. Okay, now I want you to feel like the shoulder blades are kind of drawing away from the crown of your head. Energy out through those legs. Press down into those hands and lift your chest up. So rise up into your extension or into your swan. And then lengthen as you come all the way down. So we did kind of this in our long stretch standing, but this time we're just adding extension to it, especially on this lowering down. And then when you bring your chest up, make sure that your ribs are coming with you. So it's not all lower back, it's the whole extension of the spine. And then come all the way down. Okay, last one here. Just press yourself up, lift up, lift up. I say last one, we're gonna do some other stuff here. So let's everybody take your hands into the straps. Find that depression of the scapula here. Let's zip the legs up together. Lift up into just like a quarter of your swan. All right, keep the energy into the arms. Try to float both kneecaps up off of the mat. That does not change. Kick your right heel to your seat. We kick, kick, and then send it back out. We alternate kick, kick, and then back out. Your tailbone is constantly reaching to your knees. One more on each side. We kick, kick, and then back out. We kick, kick, and then back out. Now lower everything down. Keep the legs zipped up together. Now bend your knees, pull your heels to your seat. So now you're trying to lift the thighs up off the mat. And now bend your elbows to goalpost arms. We're gonna kick, kick, kick. As the legs go straight, the arms are gonna go straight. Try to lift up into your extension. This is your double leg kick from the mat. You come all the way back down. We bend the elbows, we bend the knees, we kick, kick, kick. Everything shoots out long. Press into those hands, rise up, rise up. Come all the way back down. We bend, we kick, kick, kick. Can you keep those thighs lifted as the legs go straight? It is so hard, even as you rise up. Last one here, we bend, we kick, kick, kick. Last extension, last lift. And then lengthen to come all the way down. Just let go of the straps, press yourself up. Sit the hips back, round your spine. Maybe give yourself a little shake out. Okie dokie. So let's actually have a seat facing your anchor point. Grab onto your handles and lie down. So when you lie down, I want your elbows to be bent but not touching the floor. So for everybody with the wall in front of you, it's gonna restrict you a little bit when we stretch out the legs, so just remember that, okay? So let's just from here, just open the arms out to the side. My head is still down, but it's like I'm going into my hug. Now from here, just allow that to help lift your chest up and then lower back down. And then for me, because I feel like I'm too close, I'm gonna take my hands into the cradles, okay, just to give myself more range. Let's do that again. Arms open out to the side, allow that to help you lift your chest up and then lower back down. And just know that we are coming into an ab curl or your teaser. So we're not an extension, right? We're in our kind of teaser shape here. One more time. out to the side, space between ears and shoulders, and then come all the way down. Now, bring your knees into your chest. Glue those legs together to start. Pull your heels to your seat. Arms, they go out to the side. Finds that upper ab curl, maybe even a bigger, that nasty shoulder blade hover. And now straighten your left leg out as your right knee pulls in closer and switch. Pull it in closer and switch. So your arms right now are doing a back fly, but think of it as your hug. The arms are pulling apart, shoulder blades are pulling apart. Remember, you can always do this with your head down and just keep the arm engagement. If your head is down, the base of your ribs are drawing into the mat. You have 2 and 1. Bring both knees into your chest. Send both legs out and away. And then pull them back in. Send both legs out and away. And then pull them back in. On this next one, let's add on. So legs go out. Can you roll up a little bit higher? Maybe find your teaser and then come all the way back down. One more like that. Roll yourself up and then back down. All right, so now let's do a little bit more of our double leg stretch. So as the legs go out, reach the arms more at kind of like an I, and then circle the arms around, knees come in. Arms circle around, legs shoot out long, and they circle around, knees come back in. Now, find the arms reaching back, left leg comes up, and then scissor switch. We switch and switch. Neck stays long, of course. Remember, you can lower the head down. For 4, 3, 2, 1, bend the knees in. Take a moment here. You can either do a bridge to open up the pelvis, or you can just rock your knees back and forth. Okay, so we did a little bit in our double leg stretch, but now we're gonna go into that teaser full. So bring your knees into your chest. Super glue those legs together, all right? So as the arms circle around and up and behind you, legs are gonna shoot out long. So imagine those hands were in your push through bar right now, y'all. Good, keep reaching up into the push through bar as you roll your pelvis away from your thighs. Round back, round back, round back. Then you bring the knees in, arms come back down. All right, so whereas the push through bar, you're kind of pushing it towards your legs, here you're pushing the arms back. So let's do that again. Arms circle around. As the arms push back, soften through the base of the ribs, and then roll the pelvis away from the thighs. Round back, and everything comes back down. Whew, and if you've got a tight low back, this is tough. I'm right there with you struggling. Let's do that again. Roll yourself up. Now, can you keep everything square? Circle your right arm around towards your thighs and then back up. Left arm goes around and then back up. 2 more each side. Can you keep everything stable? Last one here on each side. Last one. Finish strong. Roll the pelvis away, and then everything comes back down. Press your palms into the straps, your feet are into the mat here, okay? From here, just lift the hips up. And now drop your right hip down and then lift it up. Drop your left hip down and then back up. Just continue to alternate, getting a twist in your lower half. Just feeling some type of relief. Go ahead and find level hips and then just melt as you come all the way down. All right, so let's go ahead and come up. Seated position for a spine stretch and saw. So kind of working into our cool down here. So when you're seated here, your hands will be kind of at shoulder height. That might mean handles or cradles, doesn't matter. So your feet are flexed and you're feeling some energy down into the heels, into the back of the legs. You're gonna stack your spine up that imaginary wall. Find that pull apart of the bar that you might be holding. And then from here, nod your chin, start to peel your spine away from that imaginary wall, round forward, curl the tailbone under. Can you keep pressing down into those arms as you stretch forward? And then from tail to crown, stack your spine all the way up, getting taller, taller, taller. Again, you press down, Maybe those elbow creases look up to the ceiling a little bit more. And then stack all the way up. All right, last one here. Round up and over. Now hold here. Take a big breath in. And then on your exhale, maybe you can go further, further, further. And then again, come all the way up. Now we're gonna do a little saw. So if you need more range as far as shoulders go, hands come into the cradles, all right? So you're gonna start to round forward as you twist to the left. Your right hand reaches for that left foot and your right shoulder reaches for the middle of the mat. And then come back to center. I think I need a little bit more range today. Right arm sweeps around, left hand, right foot, push into those handles, lengthen the spine, and then come back to center. Again, one more each side, equal weight into those hips, pull those pinky toes back, and then come back to center. I love this one because it really gives you something to push up against to find that lift of the ribs. Alrighty, so now let's come up to kneeling. We're gonna finish with a little rolling in and out. Where it's gonna tell you where you need to be is elbows are gonna be bent wide and your fists are gonna be like just in front of your chest, all right? So shins are pressing down, your feet, knees, hip socket distance apart. So find just a little bit of upper back engagement. Feel your pubic bone go forward. Just feel all these things, all the length, all the things. And then from here, keeping your long line, allow your upper body to just guide you back into this thigh stretch. And then pull yourself up. Now, if you need more range, you start closer. Less range, you start further away, okay? All right, let's do that again. Keep this softening into the base of the ribs. And then push into those shins, pull with the arms to guide yourself back up. So for this, I want you to find a point where you're going back further than what you normally do, right? Because you've got your arms to help you. And then come all the way back up. All right, one more time here. Hug in with those inner thighs and then come all the way back up. All right, now arms go straight out. All right, just like you're rolling in and out, you've got to keep tension into the arms, into the straps. Nod your chin, roll yourself out, round out, and kind of lean forward a little bit, but keep curling the tailbone under. And then from here, as you stack your spine up tall, row the elbows high and wide, lean back into your thigh stretch, pull yourself all the way up, reach the arms forward, nod your chin, roll yourself out, keep the shins pressing down, and then roll yourself all the way up and lean back. Now we're gonna do two, adding in extension. So arms go forward, pass through your long line, find extension here. Make it feel good. And then from tail to crown, roll yourself all the way up, stacking the spine up tall, elbows bend. As you go back this time, if you want, find extension. Like you're back diving up and over something. Nod your chin, kind of roll yourself out of it, row yourself up, arms go forward. This is your last one, make it count. Pass through that long line, stick the tailbone out, reach the heart forward. And then roll yourself all the way up, up, up. Back dive, up and over. Keep driving those hips forward. Nod your chin to come out of it. And you are done. Nice work today, y'all.